Shakedowns for. learning all these things. I believe we're live now. Minute 30 till the song's over. Separated audio and power, which is where buzz comes from.
Okay.
See if that helps.
I don't hear it.
Reason for that. There's still that little one, but we'll leave that for now. YouTube.
Okay.
I'll cancel that with post.
Okay.
I do hear it though, a little bit. That's all right. How are you with comfort with that microphone where it is?
If you can hear me, this is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Ideally, we'll have a boom or something, but I need to see all this stuff first, you know. Break it in.
Totally.
Oh, smack. Not much I can do about it now. That's us.
Uh-oh. Holy cow.
Okay, wow.
That went quick.
Hello.
Hello.
Good grief. Let's turn some cameras on here. All right. Hello, Mrs. Ryan.
Hello.
I didn't get to do any levels or anything, but you know what? We put on that this is a shakedown show, not an actual show. So if anybody's actually watching now or whenever you do see this, this is it. We're figuring it out.
This is the Shakedown Show.
Yes, like this is the camera I put in right before we sat down, and that's all over the place. So let's see. Well, start with this. Let's start with this. Hello, because we got that one works. Welcome, everybody. Today is Monday, May 21st, but it's late at night, so you already know that. Again, we're figuring that out. Shakedown Show number 2. We are in the same room, believe it or not, yet it looks like this now.
It's bananas.
Yeah, it is bananas. But we are, believe it or not, in the same room, and I'm proud of our transformation. It's still in work in progress, but just looking at that, I'm kind of like, holy smokes, you have really achieved something here. Goodness gracious. All right. So I just wanted to say like what we've been up to and stuff while we were just as yibber yabber while we kind of, you know, ran through all this stuff.
Sure.
As far as I don't want to get into news yet or anything like that, but I would like to know what you've been up to, Mrs. Ryan, while I just adjust that camera. You can talk to me, but I'm just
what I've been up to is I think I sprained my toe the other day.
What?
So I took the break that life gave me to deep dive into my life as a comedy person again. And I'm rereading Carol's book, and Carol Leifer's book, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Crying, and really outlining a lot more of my stories because I don't want to go too far into this because it gives me crazy anxiety, but she'll be on the show next week. Huh? And
it's supposed to be at the end as a big, you know, but it's all good.
Well, I didn't know that.
I'm going to guess around, but it's all good. It's your booking, so no, celebrate it. Your booking. It was there would have been more fanfare and stuff versus just you trickling out big news like that.
to me, I'm so anxious about this. This isn't big news yet, but I guess it is. Anyway, I've gotten multiple mixed reactions from it, so I really deep dove into my own study of it. And I've been laughing a ton and learning a lot.
Laughing and learning are always good, right?
Yeah. It's the only way to do it. Laughing and learning. So that's what I've been doing while I've been nursing my ailments.
I am curious about the mixed. Okay, so I was going to do this at the end, but we're going to do it now, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Mrs. Ryan here got a spectacular booking for the show. Oh, boy, that's the worst angle ever, and not the one to deliver this news. So I'm going to deliver it here, but it's not right because you should be on camera. All right, well, we'll figure this out. How about this? Yeah, we'll try that one. It's going to be far away. So that's how big the news is. It's so big, we need to go to camera 4 for it. Look at that. It looks like we're up on stage and stuff. No, but it's really big news for our little show here, and it's part of the impetus for like really wanting to give it our all. Since we're giving it our all, I kind of wanted to crank it into the set as well. We did an episode right before, I think it was our last episode before we actually took delivery of this Letterman furniture. Is that right?
It was to say goodbye to the old set. Show.
Yeah. And you wanted to talk about Carol Leifer. And I don't remember, she wasn't topical, but you had, for whatever was going on, she was really in your life that week with your studies and your self-help and everything else. And anyway, a week later, whatever, a couple days later, Carol Leifer chimed in on the social media saying, "Hey, watch the podcast, loved it. You know, when are you going to have me on?" kind of thing. And
I'm still not. It's not really.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful, and you should celebrate this. That was the only reason before. I want you to celebrate it. It's a wonderful thing that you shouldn't sweep it under. Oh, and by the way, I have some good news.
I will really
it's a
celebrate
big deal
it
for you
next week. I'm still too nervous, and that's all.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm so excited.
I know. It is great. I'm rushing the process. That's not fair of me. Anyway, so yeah, Carol Leifer will be on. It is next week, right? Oh
Next
man,
Wednesday.
It's very exciting. All right, so that was your news. Speaking of, I would like to talk about where we are. We're in this same studio, but in order to, boy, that's just, I can't possibly, I can't possibly. You're going to have to keep talking about something.
Well, I started to say I got a bunch of mixed reactions about that news, and it was so funny. Like the people, of course, like I never have expectations. Like it'll always bring your own downfall. The people I was so surprised that the people I thought would have incredibly positive reactions couldn't have cared less. However that saying goes, and the people that I was very trepidatious in my telling, because I wasn't sure how to tell them the right way, because I didn't think they would actually get it, were the first ones to be like, holy cow, that's fantastic. What a cool opportunity, blah, blah, blah. So I've been playing all that over in my own head, I think, a little bit.
Well, as long as you see that it is an incredible opportunity and that it's one that you created.
I don't get starstruck, and I am so like, I don't know what to say.
Well, what's funny about it too is when we were having a conversation off the air about it, I don't remember how it came up or what or why, and there's nothing negative about this. In fact, I found it endearing, but you said something or other. I don't really know that much about her. Like I can't even picture, like I don't even really know what she looks like. And I was thinking to myself, it's so funny that you know all of these wonderful projects she's attached to, and to me, she was one of the comedians I watched, forgive me for saying this, Carol, growing up, only because I was obsessed with comedy and consuming it at a rate like America is now, finally. But I was watching her and Paula Poundstone. And, yeah, absolutely. I keep mentioning Paula Poundstone, and I don't remember why, other than she was on the Jay Leno Tonight Show a lot. I don't remember why I keep mentioning her.
And Carol actually knew each other. They were just in a photo together recently. So they
really? Oh, really?
Shakedown!
I'm also exhausted, by the way, if that much weren't clear.
You've done so much work.
Oh, I'm very excited about all of this. Okay, so with where we are, this stuff just simply didn't, okay, so we're melding two worlds. When we committed to doing this podcast and really like doing this podcast and like making it a show and really like making it our livelihood, so to speak. When we committed to do that, that's when we decided, yes, okay, it's the right idea to bring the Letterman furniture in. Okay. Or the Letterman set in, whatever. That's good and great. Now we enter the phase of, it's like when a couple first moves in together and like you got, his stuff and her stuff.
Yeah. Do tell.
Well, I'm talking to everybody too.
I know.
Oh.
I'm just joking.
Oh, you're a riot. I'm in the middle of an anecdote. You're like, look at me. No, let's go ahead. Take it.
It wasn't supposed to be look at me. It was I'm endearingly looking at you because it's so cute.
Oh, man. See, I misread. All right. Well, you are so cute yourself. The story just, when a couple moves, see, it makes it like this is so important. I have to say it again and make sure you understand it. Like it's not. It's supposed to just be on the way.
Just my fault.
No, it's not even Mrs. a problem.
Riot's fault.
It's me getting hung up because it's like, oh, I've got my thought and formulated and I know where it's going. I'm not pro enough to like, keep it there for long. But anyway, the shit just didn't go. How's that? So we needed to make some adjustments, make some accommodations. We needed to commit to doing a TV show in our home, which is why we wanted to talk to Tom Green. Tom Green, I hope you see this. I know you've chimed in a couple times on the social and you've liked our stuff and everything. I'm going to keep tagging you. I hope it's not annoying. You seem to keep, you know what I mean? It seems to be a
give take.
Yeah. So, I'm not like that. I'm not the kind of person who goes after. You know what I mean? I normally don't give a shit.
Which is why it's authentic and it's like obvious that you're not some hound.
Okay.
In my opinion.
I'll take it. I appreciate you saying that. I don't know myself. You know what I mean? So I'm figuring it out. Anyway, he started this and he doesn't do it anymore and so on and so forth. He was also really famous. My logic is he was like a famous guy who was already on television and already doing stand-up and famous, like Canada and U.S. Mm-hmm. We're not famous. So I feel like we could hang with this for a long time. And like, I don't care. We don't want to be famous. We would like this to be successful somehow and for our message to go and for these conversations to be enjoyed by people. But
there's a different intent for doing it than to platform ourselves into oblivion of fame.
Yeah. We're the off-brand. Like, we don't want to be the brand.
Off-brand.
Yeah, like the generic. The generic. That's interesting. Well, anyway, okay, so with the reason I brought all that stuff up was we're figuring it out, but we want to have the same hang. We figured, we'll make the set like all pro and stuff, and that way we can be more casual, and in a weird way, it sort of takes the pressure off us a little bit. For me, anyway. I don't know about for you.
It will. I'm still in that hung up phase of, I'm in my chair. I have a person. People are listening now. It's where like people are listening, and I definitively know that. So.
Oh well, that's an adjustment period for sure.
My heart's racing.
Oh, that's cool though.
Yeah, it's super neat.
That's part of the process, I would think, and I don't know, but I would say from what I've heard and read along the way that you should enjoy that as long as possible, because I guess it gets not fun at some point. Or it goes away completely maybe or something. I don't know.
I'm enjoying the process until the emotions take over and I'm like, panic. And I feel like that Inside Out animated movie where I'm like, alarm bells.
I love that movie. I need to see it again. It really, I don't remember enough about it to know to get the reference, unfortunately.
I feel like that one's actually just more of a generic, like when the memories are falling down, those big spheres of memories that are like going down the chute.
Oh, yeah. Of course. See, God damn it, Chris Hardwick, in my mind, that's the wall now. Thump, And by the way, when I say "God damn it, Chris Hardwick," I mean we love your new show. We've loved all of your shows, but you used to work with him.
I did, and I was gonna say like I love what you're doing, dude. Like it took you a minute, and you got here, and it's what you always said you wanted to do. So I'm really, really proud of you. They're really great things.
Yeah, I agree. That show's awesome. I get so emotional watching it. You know what? It does for me what, it's kind of funny. That's the tie-in. Oh, boy. All right, this is going to prove your success, gentlemen. I was going to say that it reminded me, I get the emotional whatever I used to get like 10 years ago with my old roommate, Lori. Lori Juckett. Love you, Lori Juckett. Shout out to you. But it's more than 10 years ago, whatever it was. I can't remember the show though. Ty Pennington with the ABC show, not Trading Spaces. The ABC Home Makeover, Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Went, move that bus, and it was like, holy shit! But what I'm getting at here, they changed people's lives, and Chris and LeBron James said that that's what they set out to do with that show, was change people's lives.
Yeah.
Boy, that was not intended to be a Chris Hardwick salute, but good on you, man. You know what? Did we watch it together? Did we watch Chris Hardwick on Larry King?
Yes.
Okay, good. That was really informative and enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm envious I didn't book it.
Oh.
Good job. It was a great interview.
I think it was like very, very recent. Would you like to be doing that still?
No, I wouldn't. It was such a good interview.
Oh, sorry.
That's all.
It was. I really enjoyed it too. But okay. Coming back to this, I grew up loving Larry King, David Letterman and Larry King. Now, I found Larry King. First of all, I didn't find Larry King. Larry King has been around forever. He was in Ghostbusters, for goodness sake. But I found him because he had the same microphone that was on David Letterman's desk. So I was like, oh, and I had to get a better look at it and the whole thing. So anyway, then I just started watching Larry King.
As a child, like under...
Well, yeah, maybe a teenager, maybe. I'm thinking 12, 13, 12.
Yeah, I mean, it was under 10, 13.
Oh, yeah. Call it 13 just for the sake of whatever, but definitely impressionable years, and definitely too young to be watching Larry King. Because the flip side was I was probably watching like Double Dare. And
that's like your span of like relatability is so big.
We're going to get to what I want to say about this set, but I'm going to keep going along with this just because I love it. And I realized while building and creating this, that I was essentially recreating my childhood because, first of all, I'm building a talk show set again. But I realized that I'm formed by a bunch of shows that had these very interesting environments, and they were almost whimsical and make-believe. Now, specifically starting with Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
My all-time favorite, and I can't tell you, I could, but we should, I guess we did a show on it, but I would love to do another one because I just absolutely love Mr. Rogers and what he stood for and what he did for the world, what he did for me. I wasn't parented as a kid. We found out that was because my parent thought I was unparentable.
Verbatim, that was said to me.
None of this matters. It's one of those where I got a lot of what I have and what I know from television. So a guy like Fred Rogers, who was talking to me and explaining how things worked, and it was like, oh, I can learn this way. But it was like one-on-one, and I think that's where I sort of almost developed a learning disability with like, oh yeah, I can learn when someone just like does it that way when it's just us. But in like a whole thing, like school, class, lecture, out.
You in an auditorium is like, I can't.
I better be on the other side of the stage, or at least enjoying the performance. I don't remember. So Mr. Rogers, the land of make believe, and that colorful, whimsical place, and all of the toys around his house, and the trolley, which was a big deal.
Yeah.
We'll get to that as well, but there's a connection. And I grew up loving trains with my dad. There's a train picture on the set up there that I took of the train I used to ride with my dad that we've been on as well.
The Essex one?
Mm-hmm, yeah. 40. Engine number 40. Okay, so sorry. Coffee, going back to water. Can't do that late at night every time. It's habit that I do it, but I only do it for the morning. Like there's no reason. So it's from Mr. Rogers to I can't remember. I had another one. I'm going to go straight to Double Dare, though, was the next one. Mark Summers and Double Dare, Harvey, they created this environment that I wanted to hang out in. I didn't give a shit about the game. In fact, I didn't care about the game. You know what I mean? It was one of those, like, I used to play my own games of try to get in as many, I hope they get in as many questions as possible. And with a really smart team, like, I wanted the numbers to go higher for the tallies or something to make it. It was the interaction. I wanted the in and out of the commercial breaks. I wanted the opening, the rules where Mark and Harvey are having a good time. I wanted physical challenges because Mark interacted with Robin and Dave, but Robin throughout the entire run. Dave was only on the early episodes. And just like all that stuff, they created this environment that was so fun and so, I don't know, maybe the way they were talking to the camera or the way they... It's like they were all broadcasters first or something.
Totally. And I remember feeling like a safety. And like there was no reason to feel unsafe, but I felt very safe with that crew of like they were my family after school or whenever I watched it. Like, yeah, there was something really familiar, even though I didn't know them at all.
I wish I could think of the one that was in between. And then from Double Dare, I would guess I would go to Letterman. Mm-hmm. There might be one in between there, too. Anyway, I thought I had a longer string. I've got this long list of 3 things. Anyway, but they all had very interesting, creative, colorful, childlike environments with, and that's why I love the Eames, too. They kept the simplicity of everything. They also... You know what I liked about Double Dare? I just maybe realized they didn't do... You know what I liked about Double Dare? I'm going to tell you right now. They treated kids like adults. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's all of it. Mr. Rogers treated kids like adults. And Letterman, sorry if I spit, Letterman treated adults like kids. So I don't know. Maybe it was all just...
I feel like everyone related on the same level. Like they made everyone feel like they were on your level. So it doesn't matter what level you're at, you're instantaneously at the level of whoever's talking to you, which is the ultimate respect, I think, for kids.
Interesting. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, just an equalizer.
Well, to go to Larry King, it seems odd to be like you watch Double Dare and Larry King, but I can understand the similarity there because Larry is a great interviewer. And so,
you know what it was for me? It was that damn NBC tour. Really, it was because it was getting to see the late night set and then watching it on television to see what I had just seen in person. You know, like all of that, and then it was so different. And I was like, oh, well, I saw Donahue that day too, so then I watched Donahue, and I was like, it was so different. And somehow it got me into watching talk shows, and I was like, because then I wanted to see all of them. I was like, oh, well, where do they put the cameras? Oh, well, look at the lights. I realized that these were the shows where you could see the things that I wanted to see versus like if I watched Roseanne, which was awesome, the sitcom, which was awesome, but you didn't see, it wasn't like It's Gary Shandling's show where you really did see all that stuff. I didn't get that till later because it was, you know, I was young and it was on cable and it was at night and it was probably dirty. You know what I mean? Because the only place I had cable was at my grandparents' house. We didn't have cable up in the sticks up in Old Kingdom Road.
No cable.
No, barely had a school bus, and it didn't even go all the way through. It had to turn around where we lived and go back down the hill because it couldn't get through the other side. It was way too windy. That's true. There's kids that live down there, but their parents would have to drop them off where we lived. It just coincidentally, our property was on a corner where the bus stop was.
Funny. East Coast problems, man.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah, no joke. It was too long, way too long for some of those curves.
The bus, yeah, I can see that.
I'm sure they tried it at one point, and you just hit one car, and somebody's got to back up, and it's just impossible. There's nowhere to go.
What a nightmare.
Thanks a lot.
Good job.
All right. Anyway, about this this set, making it fit, making it work. We went late night talk show, so we're probably making some format changes. Except we don't want to change anything. We don't want to change what we do, our interaction and stuff. So that we're figuring that out. We're figuring out how to do it, what it looks like. But the goal is same, just in different, because we're still in the same room and everything. I would like to talk about format changes for a second because we have one.
Okay.
We have a new segment, Mrs. Ryan.
Oh, man. Yes, we do.
Let's see. No, you're getting ahead of yourself. I mean, gosh, you got to look at the screen first.
Oh, no.
What? No, it's time. Time for a new segment.
I'm ready.
What's going on, Mrs. Ryan? It's time for What's Going On with Mrs. Ryan.
I'm really looking forward to this because it's the coolest way to showcase the scatteredness of my thoughts.
Well, that was the goal.
So thanks so much.
You're welcome.
It's related. The how are you thing, which is my Achilles heel, is because
what you mean by that is when we start the show and I have to like go from here to here and hey, how's it going? What's up, Mrs. Ryan? How's it going? Whatever, because I have like some setup to do. Basically, just looking for filler. It's the bane of your existence. Would that be fair? You hate it more than anything.
It's fair. I never know. You
said Achilles heel. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Because my head goes to so many different ways. I'm like, which path are we on now? And like, that's just my own chaotic, like that app that's like, brain exploding.
Wow.
Anyway, I know, right? So the reality is my body never feels good. So when someone says, how are you? I don't want to be like, well, this is wrong today. Because I don't want to be negative. Like, I don't want to always have to say, like, I'm not walking right and my eyes are fuzzy. And there are different versions of fuzzy. One is farther sight. Whatever. I don't want to get into all that. So until I'm doing cartwheels, I feel like everyone should know, like, I'm not great.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you're talking about it.
But on the flip side of it, when you're like, what's up? I'm like, well, other than all the physical stuff I'm dealing with, which is a learning curve anyway, I'm like, okay, well, my brain goes to 4 different segments of the news. Because I'm like, okay, Denver started a 4-day school week. Which I think is the coolest thing ever.
What?
They're trying out a 4-day school week, which apparently goes on in rural areas, which is for financial reasons.
Because they can't get the school bus up the hill.
Yeah, really segues in nicely with that.
Could be it.
So, well, yeah, yeah. So I thought
it's possible.
Totally possible. It's totally possible. Shit, I didn't think about that. Anyway, I at first was like, yeah, good. You'll have more time to yourself. You need it. And then I was like, oh no, you're already, like, at least where I was from, we were already behind. So I was like, you need more days of school time. Like, I don't know. So I was torn about that. But then I got distracted by an article about the Kilauea volcano on the Big Island in Hawaii, which is obviously not at all related. And something that's called lace, which is lava and water, because like it's going into the ocean now. So it's creating like geometric problems.
Geometric problems?
That's not right. That's not the right word.
Geological problems?
That's the one.
Okay. It's like triangles and trapezoids popping up all over the coast.
This is me. But so I do want to go back to that because it's
also, I figured maybe you would mention one of these at a time and then we'd talk through them, but maybe not. It was supposed to be the news, almost like maybe like Robin and Howard kind of go through like, oh, she mentioned something that is, but this can be anything you want it to be. So
well, you're right. And I think this is just lack of confidence of any of these. I figured I would just read them all and you could direct the conversation.
No, because you can't read them all in that. No, what is that? What?
That's bullshit.
Well, okay.
Where's the...
You know, I almost deleted that right before the show because I was like, we don't need that anymore.
She'll be better. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, then great. Thank you for the programming note.
No. Imagine you're watching a show or listening to it. Do you want them to read the list and then go back? I mean, just think of the nightmare that this creates. And by the way, if you think I'm listening to you, the whole point is for you to be doing this. Like I'm listening to you, but for me to like take what you have and then decide where to go with it.
All right, that's stepping too far. I shouldn't have thought that.
I started this by saying like, hey, we should do like a news segment because this could be what you talk about instead of getting upset about what you don't want to talk about, which is what normally happens.
Right.
So I said, oh, well, you could just pick like a couple stories from the day, maybe that happened that morning, and you can just, you have a, maybe this is where it came up. You have a list, not you list them. Maybe that's where the issue came up. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'll backspace button.
No. I mean, we can do it. However,
I like your way better.
It makes more sense.
Yeah, I know.
You bring it up and then we talk about it, and
this is a sad girl's way to do the news of like, I'll just say everything.
Well, I think it's what who was here the other day? I want to keep wanting to call him Otto, but that was not his name.
Eddie?
Yeah. Eddie Sato.
Yeah.
But it's EDDY SATO.
Correct.
Because the Sato is not Hispanic, it's Japanese.
Yeah. I believe so.
Wow. Anyway, bingo. What did I say? When Eddie was here, he was talking about like the rookie comic mistake of when you just kind of, or when you know it's not working, so you just go down the list. But really, it's often when you just flop sweat. If you're going up and it just nothing's working, just get through it. Just get through it. Hey, I'm done.
Yeah.
This is all you can all clean up this problem.
Yeah, that's my default mode. That sucks. I'm sorry. Thanks for calling me out.
And know that I'm not calling you out. Like, I don't want to.
Oh, I know.
Okay, good.
It's all with love.
All right.
For learning.
Anything there that you want to discuss?
I do really want to talk. Have you seen lava in person? You've been to Hawaii more than me.
I've never been to the Big Island. You mean like molten lava, like flowing lava?
Yeah. Have you ever seen it?
I heard the question. Are you seriously?
Married life.
No, because I've never been to the Big Island. It's the only active one around.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that part. That's on me.
I've seen remnants, and you've seen, lava rock all over Hawaii. I mean, that's all it is. It's land on lava rock.
Right. Well, I've never seen it flowing, and so the videos that I've seen are terrifying.
You didn't see this when you were a kid? When Kilauea, or what was the one in, when was it Mount Everest? That can't be that, right? That's not a volcano.
Mount St. Helens?
Yeah, Mount St. Helens. That's what it was in the 80s. You remember that?
I was really preoccupied in the 80s because we moved, so I'm sure I saw it, but I don't remember it as clearly.
How often did you move in the 80s?
Like 3 times, 4 times, 3 or 4.
I moved about 7 or 8 times, 7 times in the 80s.
You were more street smart than me always. I was really book smart, so unless they covered it, I didn't always know what was happening.
Gotcha. Okay. I think it was that I didn't do much book learning, and I just paid attention to what happened in class because that was discussion based, and it was like Mr. Rogers, and it was like people talking versus like read this book if I'm not interested in the subject matter. And even then, I can't do it. Yeah, I feel bad about that as an adult. That's why I say I think it's a learning disability. There's dyslexia in there too, though. I have a hard time reading sometimes in certain ways. All the time, really. But if I'm fatigued, especially.
Yeah, you've mentioned that. I bet you.
I think I learned. Yourself. Yeah, I learned how to correct it. I learned how to
work around,
self-translate it. Yeah. But when you're fatigued or tired, or in the old days like drunk or whatever, something like that. Yeah, it was like, wait, what?
What are you saying? Yeah, I guess I probably saw it then, but I don't recall it. So seeing the video live, like I did the other day on like Facebook, like I didn't have to like make an appointment to watch the news and hope I saw that part of the half
No,
hour.
you have a good point there. It's a totally different world. I mean, we saw the same 6 news footage clippings for whatever throughout the, it's nowadays the amount of coverage is insano. I don't even know why news teams have or news channels have like street teams anymore. I mean, I'm glad they do. I wish they didn't have any of this TMZ lifestyle type, civilian reporting. But it seems to be all that. Whenever I watch the news, it's nothing but fucking jiggity ass, upright, whatever this is called. Can't stand you. Portrait, selfie, goddamn upright mode. Not landscape.
Not landscape.
It seems to be like the news, like everything's that. Because those are the people who captured it. You know what I mean? That's the footage we have. It's amazing that we have the footage. I'm not complaining. It's just that, well, maybe that's it. Maybe street teams can't keep up with it because by the time it happens, they send somebody out. Meanwhile, there's an eyewitness who already had it and can beam it anywhere in the world in an instant.
That's what I was thinking. Like, there's usually just people, like, you don't call, the rigmarole to go through the red tape of, like, I might have a story, and, like, I have a story to the editors, like, versus, like, you, when you have your camera, just like, this is happening.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It used to be much easier with local news than you would imagine to get your story read and on. I mean, my first jobs were in local news, and if somebody called in, pretty much that would go in or on because it was like, nobody called in. So it was like if somebody called in, it was like, oh, yeah, well, put Mr. Johnson from Old Huckleberry Lane, put his story on by all means. Fucking tree fell in his yard, man. Fell on another tree.
Oh, those are old trees over there.
Was this improv class?
No.
If you have, are we done?
The video I saw now, my whole point was the lava scared the bejesus out of me because the video I saw on the Facebook or whatever, what looked like a transformer of lava eating a car, and it scared me so bad. Like it kept replaying, and I couldn't move the frame fast enough to get out of it. Horrible! It's like a nightmare on Elm Street.
But it happens so incredibly slowly. I mean, I saw that footage, I think, too.
Oh, then maybe it was sped up and whatever I saw because it happened. I would have definitely not watched it all the way through if it had been so slow.
It's here. Let me correct something for you. It's so slow. Now, here's the thing. You can't change what it's doing. It's the movie The Blob. Did you ever see the movie The Blob? Yeah. It's the movie The Blob. Like it does what it does. You can't do anything but get out of its way. But you can get out of its way. Now, if you're talking about where the eruptions are and all that, that's a different thing. I actually heard one of the first injuries was a guy from a lava spatter. But lava spatter, it looks like water. It's rock, people. It's rock.
Yeah.
So whether it's liquid or whether it's solid, it's rock. It's heavy. It's red hot for one. Red hot rock.
Description is anything you want to be around.
Right. And then whenever you see the lava rock later, like that's all porous and light. Well, there's no moisture in that. Like it's all just, you know what I mean? It's whatever's left.
Dehydrated.
Yeah, and over God knows how long,
Yeah, well, that's scary. That's the Big Island.
Yeah, it is. It is. Our peace, love, and aloha to all our people out there. Aloha, nui loa. It is not great. I'm glad that people aren't. I'm glad there are minimal injuries, but there's a lot of people losing their homes and just exactly the damage to the infrastructure, and it's pretty catastrophic, and it doesn't show any signs of letting up anytime soon. So and that's the other thing. Nobody knows. Like that could stop tomorrow, or it could go for years. You just don't really know. As far as I understand it, I'm no geologist.
Me too. I thought by now there'd be some way. Oh, damn it. I thought by now there'd be some way to at least have a handle on, like, okay, it'll last about that long, and like, there's no, like,
I don't know. There might be. I might not. I might just not know.
Ultimately, I think no one ever knows anything. Like, supposedly we can predict earthquakes. Like, you can't. Like, really. At least in time to tell everyone everything. Like, everyone knew this was going to, like, explode, this volcano. It's like, when? I don't know.
Well, that's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Chaos theory, people. Whatever you think you can control, you can't.
Cannot.
Stop holding on so tight. Everybody. Let go.
That's what my card said today.
What's your
I
card?
pull a tarot card every morning to be my totem for the day of like positive.
Is that normal?
It's newish.
Is that is tarot related to the stars or no?
It's all messages, so it's what you're looking for. No. The short answer is no.
Unrelated.
Yes, it's unrelated.
What's the matter?
I realized in lifetime how I connect shit that's not connected. So.
No, I asked you if it was.
I know, but in my head, I'm like, of course. And then I'm like,
Oh.
I paired it back. I'm like, no.
Oh.
No, it's not. Just is for me.
All right. Well, you pulled your tarot card.
It said, easy does it. Like, don't try to control so many things.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, it's good advice, man.
It's something, it's certainly a message I needed. So the fact that you said it again, like,
Awesome.
cements it in.
That's been happening a lot. You know you're on the right path. I mean, when you get in the swim, man, and you're doing things for the right reasons and just staying active and just keeping your head in the present, it's amazing what is all around you that's so just naturally the right thing to do or the right thing to be or the right thing to say or the right thing, you know what I mean? All of the above. It's kind of wicked wild and cool.
You're wicked wild and cool.
Hashtag nailed it. All right. So I feel like we have to, see this at some point, but I feel like we've gotten enough. Oh, you know what? I don't know if she's up there. New and improved Kitty Cam.
Kitty Cam.
She is up there, as
Kitty.
far away from it as possible as well,
Yeah.
though, of course. But new improved Kitty Cam. There, of course, would be the answering the question, where did the toolbox go? Well, that went to the bedroom behind the bathroom door there. That's when that red is peeking out. But as far as the studio and what's going on in here, there is a new sticker wall. I don't have a camera on it, but there is a sticker cabinet here that we have for all our people. We're still showing our love. We want to do all that. It's important to all of us. I mean, to us and all of us, like as a community, to show the love and help each other out and support each other.
I love that.
People are supporting us, so we want to support everybody.
Yeah.
What is going on in here? Hopefully we'll have a real show tomorrow. We have real guests. I know that. I think we'll be dialed in enough from this Shakedown show that we will have some videos back to normal. We'll have a new set montage from getting the stuff to bringing it in, building the set, all that
It's been
stuff.
the
Hopefully
coolest
that'll be done in
process.
time.
I'm so glad you captured it.
Oh, I'm so glad that you appreciate it. I don't, I was going to do time lapse in the beginning, and then that was when my my head was like, well, it'll be one day, just switch it back and forth.
Yeah.
This has been like a week and a half. Well, over a week's worth of work. No, week and a half. Yeah, we got last Friday to Monday.
It's important.
Pretty much nonstop. But there's some stuff on the desk, some really neat stuff we want to show you. As well as we're going to do a tour around the new set, and Daria will be here. I'm trying to think what else. We have some guests. All right, good guests coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carol Leifer's going to be here next week.
The thing I ruined. Sorry.
No, you didn't ruin it all. I'm glad that you brought it up. And we'll get to more on that tomorrow. Daria and a new studio tour. I think that might be it for me, Mrs. Ryan.
Okie doke.
I feel okay about this. I see some lighting tweaks I want to make, but I need to watch this back, see how it looks and all that. And Joe Maxwell, by the way. Joe Maxwell, I think you're coming over this week. He, I'm sure can give us some pointers and tips and help with lighting. He's an extraordinary DP. So I'm liking where we are and where we're going with it. But I feel like, whatever. It'd be nice to have a pro's approach.
Yeah. Another pro.
Yeah, totally. No, I'm not. I'm no lighting guy. I'm a creative guy. This is the stuff I picked up along the way when I was when I was a kid. It's pretty awesome. All right, I love you, Mrs. Ryan.
I love you.
Love everybody at home. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you being here. and hanging out with us. It's really cool.
Yeah.
This feels good. It feels good in here. I don't know how the show will look, but like I'm really digging the vibe.
I am too.
I was worried about the vibe at first, and I feel like once I figure out, this desk wasn't made. This desk was made for dealing with things over here.
Right.
So there's a lot of things here that don't need to be, and maybe whatever. We're gonna work on that once I find a place to live, and it looks good. So once I get natural, bro. Bro, it's all about getting natural. You just gotta get natural. Anyway, all right. We love everybody. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.